This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing. If you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic. This set right here is called the Doe Team Short Set. And this right here, you definitely want to add this to your closet right here. And the easiest way to do that is to go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com. And thank you for your purchase.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. It got like 2 parts to this story. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. As we all know, it's not one relationship out here that is perfect. It takes a lot to deal with another person every day and trying to be on the same page as them. You might consider yourself and your partner a union, but we are still separate individuals. And no matter how much you love a person, personalities could clash. The thing is, some couples' problems are a lot deeper than others. Everybody knows at least one relationship where on the outside looking in, you ask yourself, like, how are they still together? Whether they fight all the time, argue, always stepping out on each other, but they probably always end back up together. Sometimes in these toxic relationships, one person or both might have an outlet or safe space to go to or a person to vent to when things get wild. It could be a member of your family or a friend, but it gets tricky when that individual you run to for help is of the opposite sex and y'all are not related. It opens up a whole nother door and can lead to more problems. It's been a debate about men stepping up to help women that are in an abusive or toxic relationship. Most people feel like you should mind your business and let people deal with their own problems. But some feel like if you see or hear about a man putting hands on his woman, you should come to the rescue. That's honorable, but in some cases, it could turn out real bad. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will discuss a case of a man's dispute with his baby mother that turned fatal once her friend got involved. Back in 2013, 25-year-old Benny Davis and his baby mother had a spot together in West Baltimore by Drew Hill Park. The two shared an 18-month-old child together and were trying to make it work, but allegedly, they were always beefing. Benny was considered a hothead, and the arguments between the couple will often go from verbal to physical real quick. That's when his baby mother, who we will call Shay, would go to her male's best friend house to get away from the situation. He was at the time 25-year-old DeAndre Thomas, who friends and family called Dre. Shay would go to Dre's house until Benny calmed down, or Dre eventually talked to him. But on March 18th, things would take a turn for the worse. Early that morning, Shay got up and started preparing for the day. She got her and Benny's child together so that they could leave. But it was also other people at the home as well. So she decided to wake Benny up so he could turn off the alarm so it wouldn't go off as her and the baby left. Being that it was so early, this made him furious, angry about being woke up. The two would get into a verbal dispute that soon led to the man putting hands on her. Shay would grab the baby and run out the house and go to the 2700 block of Fox Street where Dre lived. She arrived to the home and told him what had happened, in which he assured her everything would be okay. Then there was a knock on the door. It was Benny, who was still heated, asking where Shay was at. Dre tried to calm him down, knowing the situation. He told Benny he should stop putting his hands on Shay, which only made the man more mad. The two men would go back and forth for a minute until Dre stated, "Since you like to fight, put your hands on me then." That's when Benny stated, "That's all right, I'll be back. I'm going to Greenmount to get my gun, and I'm coming right back to hit everybody." Not thinking much about it, Dre returned back in the house where Shay was at. About 9:30 a.m., Dre was about to leave out. As he opened the front door, a shot went off, striking him in the stomach. He ran back in the house, locked the door, and fell on the floor. Relatives and Shay asked what happened, in which he stated, "Benny shot me." BPD was called, and when they arrived to the home, Dre was laying on the living room floor with towels on his wound. He was rushed to a local hospital, where unfortunately, later that day, he passed away. Shay and others already pointed to Benny as the shooter. BPD was quickly able to locate him and charge him with first-degree murder. While going through the booking process, a swab was done for the DNA database. As Benny was waiting to go to trial for the hit on Dre, his name would pop up in something else. His DNA linked him to a 2011 sexual assault of a young woman leaving a club on Greenmount. Allegedly in June 2011, a young lady went to a lounge to have a few drinks. She became a little bit too intoxicated, and the owner of the club called her a sedan to get her home. The young lady, who we will call Maya, had trouble guiding the driver to the direct location, so they let her out close by. As she stumbled, it was clear she was under the influence, as two men were nearby peeping the scene. They approached Maya and walked her to a nearby alley. They began doing certain things to her against her will. One of them took everything out her purse. Once they finished, they left the young lady, and she was in shock. She didn't know where she was at, and still had her cell phone though. She called her ex-boyfriend, but he didn't pick up. She left him a voicemail stating she was scared and something bad had just happened. Eventually, she got herself together and headed home and told her roommate what happened. Her roommate instantly called police. They did a kit on Maya and she returned home. But once Benny was in custody for the shooting, his DNA was a match for Maya's situation. They called her to the station and she was able to identify him as one of the men. As both of Benny's cases made their way to trial, prosecutors painted a picture of an angry man who was impulsive and a danger to society. Maya had testified, and also Shay. As Dre's family and friends crowded the courthouse and asked Benny face to face why he shot Dre, who was just trying to help the situation, with a straight face, he said a few words back while looking at the family, before a judge sentenced him to life for the murder charges, plus an additional 40 years for the situation on Maya. 1 year later, Benny's co-defendant in the Maya case was also sentenced to 30 years with 12 suspended. Rest in peace to Dre. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to his family. Before he passed away, he had his first child, a 9-month-old baby as well. It's tricky being a male best friend, especially if you are that deep in the mix that the woman feel comfortable calling you for help. I really want to end this video with a question. Ladies and fellas, do y'all think it's okay and friends should get into couples disputes if you know someone is being harmed, or just mind your business? As some feel like it's on the individual that chooses to stay in a relationship. But as far as Benny's situation, it's crazy how being woke up too early led to him zapping out like that. As men, it's our jobs to always keep a cool head and not act out of emotion. As far as taking anything by force from a woman, I can't respect that in no shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, man, crazy story. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, answer that question for me. Do y'all think it's okay to get involved in people's relationships if you know somebody getting hands put on them as a male friend or even as a female friend? Or do you just kind of stay out of it and lay back? Because a lot of people get involved and sometimes things happen to them. But then when people don't get involved, people feel like you wrong, you should help, especially if something happened to the person that's in a relationship. Yeah, man, that's a touchy topic right there. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Remember to definitely be respectful. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.